Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Joy News. Today we're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, court overrules Oliver Baka-Vomawor's application to refer his trial to the Supreme Court. We have details from the court for you this afternoon. Also this afternoon, Majority Leader demands NIT reveals documents justifying hotel stake sale. We have details for you shortly.
What agreement does that entity, which entity has an interest in, have with NIT? For me, you as a journalist should call for those documents.
Plus, legal practitioners call for full probe to establish the veracity or otherwise of allegations against the AG Godfrey Yeboadame in the Kasiela to forcing ambulance case.
There will therefore be the need for the purposes of, in the interest of all the parties, in the interest of the Office of the Attorney General and Justice Delivery, that these matters are gone into thoroughly.
Imani Africa is meanwhile demanding total overhaul of the sole sourcing regime and procurement process.
We need a complete overhaul of the single sourcing regime in this country. It is clear that 90% of the time when they use this single sourcing method, they have something to hide.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @TheNana Aisha. Please do stay for details. The Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokono, has announced that courts nationwide will next year hear applications virtually. There have been a strong push for the courts to be digitalized to reduce the cost of litigation and access to justice. Speaking on the Law Show with Samson Ladi Anyanini, the Chief Justice explained that interventions are underway to make the courtroom suitable for the innovation.
Helping me, everybody helping me, and me getting money to do all the work. Right. I think that I am quite sure that most of your hearings will be done virtually.
Oh, great.
You will be in your chambers to take at least applications. That should be in the next year, virtually everywhere. We should be taking applications virtually.
She further provided insights into her decision to introduce a courtship system in the administration of justice.
What we did was look at the places that had the highest backlogs and try to understand what was happening there. And we discovered that there were certain places that had a very high number of cases. In a court like Adenta, High Court, one judge had as many as 500 cases. Another judge had as many as 600 cases. Now you'll find in a court like a place like Mampong, the High Court judge had 65 cases to deal with. Ashama Circuit Court, the poor judge had 1,000 cases. Now, when you have 1,000 cases to deal with, where do you start from? I can imagine that when he comes to work in the morning, he doesn't even know where to start from. That's when the adjournments just fly, right? Okay, so the question was, how do you lessen the load of those who have too many? And that's how I came up with this initiative, that judges who don't have too much on their hands should go and assist their brothers and sisters who have too much on their hands. But then we don't have too many courtrooms. So It's the same courtroom that has to be used.
All right.
And since a person can just do so much, if the morning judge or if the regular judge really works from about 8:30, by 2, they should be getting tired.
All right.
Then they can move out and somebody fresh comes in and comes to help. And I'm looking out for those caseloads coming down to something like 100. Once they get to about 100, and then I know my work is done and we can stop the shift.
Right.
So it's not going to be a permanent feature.
Let's stick with legal matters because the High Court in Accra this morning has struck out an application by the defense team of the Fix the Country convener Oliver Baka-Vomawo that sought to challenge the jurisdiction of the High Court and the constitutionality of the offense. Mr. Baka-Vomawo was charged with treason felony in 2022 when he was picked up by the security operatives for threatening a coup if Parliament goes ahead to pass the e-levy bill, a bill which was subsequently passed. In court today, the sitting judge, after listening to arguments, said it is well within the jurisdiction of the High Court to continue with the trial. Lateef Idris was in court for us. He joins us with more. Lateef, what were the arguments by both sides?
Well, Aisha, so today in court, something different came up. You know, all this while, and I mean for the past 2 years, the argument put forth by the state is that Oliver Baka-Vomawo, his publication on social media was an attempt to subvert the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, if you like. But today in court, the states changed that narrative and said that they've not been making the case that Oliver was attempting to overthrow the Constitution, but then his pronouncements were rather going to incite other Ghanaians to pick up arms, if you like, and overthrow the 1992 Constitution. And that is why he was picked up at the court, at the airport when he arrived from the United Kingdom. His lawyers, on the other hand, made the case that they still insisted that the case be referred to the Supreme Court and reference Act 130, which essentially makes the point that once a case or a reference is made to a matter that pertains to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, it is incumbent on the sitting judge to refer that matter to the Supreme Court for interpretation. Because if you recall, Oliver Baka-Vomawo's lawyers were trying to challenge the constitutionality of the offense that the state said he had committed, and also the jurisdiction of the High Court. I have if you find behind me some of the supporters who showed up in their numbers to support Mr. Baka-Vomawo. One of them is Dramani. He's also the lead convener of the Doom Summer Stop protest. And he was also in court. I just want to find out quickly from you, what do you make of today's shift in the state's claim, if you like?
It's just a confirmation of what I said the last time we met here. That was last week, Monday, when I said that the Attorney General is wasting the resources of this country prosecuting this matter. Because if the Attorney General, through the lady who stood in for him today, saying that Oliver Baka-Vomawo was not trying to usurp the executive authority of this country, but rather was trying to incite others to usurp the executive authority of this country, that is a sharp contradiction. Because what they have always, all this while maintained, is that Oliver was attempting to subjugate the Akufo-Addo administration or regime.
Essentially the 1990s.
Exactly. But today they have made an about face that for somebody to be able to overthrow the executive authority of this country, the person must use violent means. In other words, the person must have the capacity to seize power or subjugate or supplant the administration by force. You understand? But today they are saying that Oliver lacks the capacity to seize power by force. He lacks the capacity to subjugate the executive authority of this country, which confirms profoundly that the Attorney General is wasting our meager resources on this case. The Attorney General is on a useless legal expedition. It will yield nothing. It will result in naught. The Attorney General must be called out to get serious. Because we are serious in this country. If they are not serious, we are serious. If they are not serious, the people of this country who are bearing the brunt of their mismanagement, they are serious. We are sacrificing. We are suffering. We are suffering. So when we see duty bearers wasting the resources of this country, it pains us, because the Constitution of Ghana, even Article 1, places a duty on us to combat government officials who are wasteful and prodigal.
Okay. So that's Dramani. He is the lead convener of the Doom Summer Stop vigil, which is also scheduled to come off next week or in June, if you like. So the case, Aisha, has been adjourned to June 3, when the correct or the proper trial is expected to begin. Now that the issue of jurisdiction has been cleared off, the court will begin the trial come June 3, Aisha.
The Executive Director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Mamitiwa Adodankwa, is making a strong push to prioritize the safety of children online. It comes on the back of increasing cases of missing children, sometimes related to the activities online. There's more in this report.
Missing Children Ghana has marked the International Missing Children's Day, which is observed to raise awareness about the plight of missing children over the world and honor the efforts made to reunite families and protect vulnerable children.
Currently, since we started in May 2021, we have received over 700 police reports of missing children, as in the police extracts from families that came to us. With this report, together with our team, we have been able to reunite 300 of these cases from 2021 to 2024. You can imagine those that we still not reunited. Today, a man came here. His son has been missing since 2018. They are in trauma looking for the child. It is real. The issue of missing children is real.
The event brought together families, schools, communities, and stakeholders to advocate for stronger measures to prevent child disappearances. Speaking at the event, Executive Director of YOCO, COP Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa, urged parents to take immediate action to protect their children from the devastating effects of online bullying and harassment.
And train them how to be secured online. Not only the school children, but everybody. How you can monitor your children when they go online, how they can identify suspected person who has bad motive. So this is something that we want to do to also push the agenda against people getting missing, because if they know certain things that they have to be wary of, especially when they are online, it will go a long way to help them to avoid certain sites and avoid talking to certain people. And also, even when they have their own device, what they have to do and how and when to report any suspicious action of anybody, either to the parent and for the parent to also report to law enforcement agencies. So that is what we want to support this project. I'm so passionate about it because I know how it feels when your child gets missing and you don't know whether the person will come back or it's not come back.
Meanwhile, the founder of Missing Children Ghana, Regina Samoa, used the occasion to launch Safety of Children project aimed at intensifying education and sensitizing schools and communities.
So as Missing Children Ghana, we joined the World to Mother's Day. Today what we did is to be able to raise funds to support an educational project that targets 4 regions for now. We'll be going to those 4 regions. That is the Greater Accra region, the Central region, the Eastern region, and the Volta region. We'll be visiting schools with our team of experts to educate children on safety measures. Here in Ghana, when a child goes missing, and fortunately, a good Samaritan finds the child is taken to the police. Then the police will interrogate the child. From there, the child is handed over to social welfare. Then social welfare will also interrogate the child. If the social welfare gets enough information, then the child is reunified. If not, the child is taken into an orphanage. The gap we have seen is that a lot of children don't know the basic details about their families and about themselves. And so we have thousands of children across Ghana in orphanages who are not orphans, but are missing children.
The majority leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markins, has expressed frustration over the decision by the NDC minority to object a tax waiver proposal for some 42 companies under the government's One District, One Factory initiative. The Exemptions Act 2022, Act 1083, presented to Parliament by former Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, will see these 42 companies receiving tax exemptions totaling about $335 million. However, the NDC side has vehemently kicked against this move. Speaking on the AM show with Benjamin Akakpo, Afenyo-Markins said the minority decision is hindering the inflow of investors into the country.
That I have a very big problem with our colleagues. You see,
how so? We're talking
in
about
this country,
how much? Is it 250 million?
Don't let us talk about how much.
But you can't have the conversation without talking about how much.
I'm saying that you don't have to talk the numbers. If you talk about the numbers, you get it wrong. You would oversimplify it and you get it wrong. Gentlemen, you know, countries are competing for investment, all right? And they have all manner of incentives to attract people to bring capital. We are talking about post-COVID entrepreneurial decisions. Entrepreneurs would have to take decisions which country they would go to. You go to Qatar today, in their free zones, their policy on foreign direct investment, so attractive. Tax waivers, you know, first 10 years, you are not supposed to pay your tax on profits and all. You have that space. Now, this government introduces the One District, One Factory. The aim of it is to create a space for businesses to thrive. If you give that incentive, that money, that capital is invested in the business. That is why I'm saying that don't quantify that, oh, government is giving tax incentives of 300 million. Oh, that money could have been used for something else. You get it wrong.
I see.
When you give a businessman the space, you are allowing him to employ more. You are allowing him to expand. That is the rationale behind it. We bring this, we have 42 companies. And then all of a sudden, the minority will say, no, you are granting tax waivers of so much, so we will not allow. There are factories that are at various stages of completion that are going through frustration because the equipment are there, the law has not been passed. There's no resolution to support.
Afenyo-Markins has also urged SNIT to disclose documents justifying a sale of 60% stake in 4 SNIT hotels. This follows SNIT's defense of its decision to sell the majority shares to Rock City Hotels, owned by Agric Minister Brian Champong. Speaking on the AM show, the Efutu MP emphasized the need for transparency to confirm the legitimacy of the deal.
Last time, I was invited by my old school, St. Augustine's, and I wanted to use that place. I couldn't. I had to sleep at Ridge Royale. I had to sleep there because I could not, the place is bad. You go to La Palm. Freemasons, we had the annual communication 2 weeks ago. We were there. I walked through La Palm, the La Palm of old, the state of La Palm. Bad.
Can you say same for Labadi Beach?
Labadi is better. Labadi Beach is better.
It's one of our best.
I'm saying it's better. Now, our workers have their investment in SNIT. And when they go on retirement, SNIT is supposed to use this investment to pay them.
Right.
If SNIT invests in certain project and this project fail, how would our pensioners be paid? So I support any initiative aimed at making these investments viable. Okay? So if SNIT gets into an agreement with an entity that, look, we want to offload, say, 20% of our shares we have in this, or we want to get into a management contract with you to manage this and let's do profit sharing. It serves the best interest of the Ghanaian worker who has contributed to the SNIT.
Okay, so I get where you're going. But in terms of the optics,
so
some say that, but he's politically aligned. So let me just because of time. That's why.
No, yes. But we need to explain the fact that if we don't have the time, don't let us get in there at all.
You go ahead.
So, if an entity, we know that Brian has an interest in a hotel. He's a hotelier.
Right.
He's a hotelier. He has an interest in there. Whether he has 10% shares, 100% shares, or what have you, it is an entity.
Some legal practitioners are calling for a full probe into allegations leveled against the Attorney General by Richard Jakpa, a defendant in the Kasiel Atoforsen case. Speaking on the probe, legal practitioner and host of Newsfile, Samson Ladianyenene, said the weight of the matter makes it imperative to bring clarity to the matter. We'll bring you the soundbite shortly, but let's take you to the CEO Summit where former President John Mahama is speaking.
Technology and AI transformation. I'm deeply committed to fostering business growth and economic prosperity in Ghana. And that is why I've announced that I'll chair an accelerated export development program, which will work to expand our exports and take full advantage of the expanded market access afforded by the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme and the African Continental Free Trade Area. Under this program, existing companies in Ghana will be engaged to modernize their operations and bolster productivity, and thereby stimulating growth in adjacent sectors by incubating new enterprises within Ghana. Ghana's economic terrain is evolving rapidly, necessitating streamlined processes, enhanced access to information, and augmented support services for domestic and foreign businesses. Through a centralized platform, companies like Nestle or Olam Ghana will no longer need to engage with multiple government ministries to resolve challenges facing them. By creating an environment conducive to business, we aim to attract foreign investment, invigorate local entrepreneurship, and propel sustainable economic growth. Additionally, this centralized platform will foster collaboration between multinational corporations, small and medium enterprises, and innovative startups, augmenting Ghana's economic competitiveness and its role as a regional trading hub. Our foreign missions will establish trade and business innovation desks to position Ghana as a business hub. They will thereby assist multinationals and local companies in achieving growth while advocating for the expansion, enhancement, and diversification of local industries. We will revive the famous Gateway program to reposition Ghana as a gateway for African investment. Ghanaian registered businesses will be given priority in government procurements. We want Ghanaian business people to dominate the economy. Africa boasts the world's youngest population, with 70% of sub-Saharan Africans under the age of 30. If harnessed effectively, this presents a significant opportunity for economic growth. Our young people are our most valuable assets. It should be of concern to us, in addition to unemployment and lack of skills training, that Ghana is ranked 99 out of 123 countries in the 2023 Global Innovation Index. This is unacceptable and highlights the urgent need to diversify our economy and establish the necessary structures and programs to enhance Ghana's innovation ecosystem. The demand for skilled talent is unprecedented. To ensure Ghana's competitiveness and adaptability to emerging trends, we are committed to upscaling the skills of our workforce across diverse fields such as technology, engineering, craftsmanship, seafaring, manufacturing, healthcare, and renewable energy. Leveraging insights from successful global models, we will forge strategic partnerships with skill development agencies and educational institutions to offer targeted training programs and apprenticeships to our youth. Again, by centralizing collaboration among various tech hubs, educational institutions and centers we aim to equip our workforce with the requisite skills to thrive in a digital economy, unlocking new opportunities for economic growth and job creation. Emphasizing vocational and technical training alongside quality higher education is essential, and we're determined to invest in this human resource base, which will be critical to Ghana's industrial agenda. We'll train our artisans, technicians, and professionals to a world-class standard and enter into agreements with other countries to export Ghanaian expertise abroad on fixed short to medium-term contracts. Achieving these goals will require investing heavily in infrastructural development, improving transportation, energy, and telecommunications, which will help lower transaction costs, increase productivity, and enhance the competitiveness of our efforts. We will draw up a priority investment program, PIP, to cover critical infrastructure projects in the roads, bridges, dams, railways, aviation, telecommunication sectors, and also manufacturing, healthcare, education, power, water and sanitation, agriculture and agribusiness, and tourism sectors. This we expect to be implemented under a 5-year, 10 billion Big Push infrastructure program. By this, we intend to invest $2 billion each year in priority infrastructural projects to boost economic growth and prosperity. AI has the potential to revolutionize every sector of our economy, from healthcare to agriculture, from finance to education to tourism, environmental protection. It will enhance efficiency, drive innovation, and create new opportunities for business. And this is why, as I said last week at my talk at the University of Energy and Natural Resources, we intend to use cutting-edge technology, including geofencing, to supervise the small-scale mining sector. Artificial intelligence technology will help us analyze information gathered thereby to monitor what is happening in districts that host mining activities. The NDC is on record as having invested significantly in Ghana's digital infrastructure during our tenure in office, including during my time as president. And yet there remains a substantial digital divide in Ghana. Only an estimated 34 to 40% of rural individuals have internet access compared to between 59 and 66% of urban dwellers. Men are more likely to own phones with internet access than women at 63%, while women is at 49%. Access to computers is also low, with only 20% of Ghanaians reportedly owning one. To address these issues, we must and are committed to bridging the digital divide to harness technology and power AI for the benefit of our economy and people. This will help bridge digital divides by offering solutions tailored to local contexts. For example, AI-driven educational tools.
You heard the former President John Dramani Mahama, who is advocating for cutting-edge technologies and AI technologies to fight mining, illegal mining. Now we can hear from Samson Ladi Anyanene, host of News File, on why he says the weight of the Kasiel Ato forcing and the allegations of the AG is heavy, and that the matter makes it imperative to bring clarity to the matter.
That he makes. Yes, they may not be about the substance towards the recovery or the prosecution to secure conviction over the 2.4 million euros. Is that what we understand? The 30 ambulances that were said to be, just bare buses fitted with kitchen panels is concerned. But the confirmations make the issues murkier and make it even important for those of us who are seeking to give education to the populace that there's a need to go into the matters. His confirmations suggest that the accused person did not just say things that are not true. There will therefore be the need for the purposes of, in the interest of all the parties, in the interest of the Office of the Attorney General and Justice Delivery, that these matters are gone into thoroughly, and so in the end, we know, who has done something wrong, who has not done something wrong, who faces what consequences, and who doesn't face what consequence. It will be very important going forward.
Vice President of Imani Africa, Bryce Simmons, is calling for a total overhaul of the nation's sole sourcing regime. This comes at the back of the controversial GRA SML deal. Speaking on the Current Affairs Show News File, the Vice President of Imani Africa said the current sole sourcing regime allows all forms of abuse that does not augur well for the state.
We need a complete overhaul of the single sourcing regime in this country. It is clear that 90% of the time when they use this single sourcing method, they have something to hide and it leads to losses to the country. So that's number one. Number two, we need to look carefully at the entire revenue assurance logic in this country. We have a situation where in telecoms, we have a company called KMGVG that is supposed to be keeping the telecom companies honest. We don't have any evidence whatsoever that the presence of this company that takes millions of dollars every month has led to any gains to the state. We collect maybe $100 and something million in taxes, and we end up paying almost $30 million to a company to collect it. What is the point of this logic? So revenue assurance is a problem. In the petroleum sector, in the downstream sector, we have a number of other initiatives of this kind. We need now to initiate a branch, stem, and root evaluation of the benefits of all these systems and then act accordingly. Thirdly, it was very clear that the contracts as it currently, the contracts as they currently exist, the consolidated contract, is not in Ghana's interest. We also know that we spent a lot of money buying some equipment and software and things like that. I think it is now time for the government to be very clear and upfront with us. How does it intend to extract value from the existing software and the hardware that were established? GRA has come out to say that it intends to implement the president's recommendations. But those were not recommendations. As I was trying to explain, the president's recommendations are at variance with what were in the report. So we now need a proper independent commission by people that have absolutely no interest in this matter and have the right credentials and the like of it, to come up with a real roadmap as to how we extricate ourselves from this really damaging situation that we find ourselves with.
We're still live on Journeys today. Let's take a break. When we return, there's a very latest coming from the world of business.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the business news here on Joy News today with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana has maintained the policy rate at 29%. Addressing the media a while ago, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison said the current pressures are under control and there will not be the need for further hikes to control the situation. The Bank of Ghana also announced some additional measures it believes will go a long way to deal with the cedi depreciation. Key among them is taking over the foreign exchange payments of some banks and big corporate institutions.
Demand researched.
We shall be bringing you more subsequently in other bulletins. Now, the internal auditors in the public sector are seeking more support to be able to block corrupt practices. According to them, this will be one of the best ways to curb corruption and support revenue mobilization for the state. In an interview with Joy Business as part of the Internal Auditors Awareness Month, which is celebrated every May, Chief Internal Auditor for the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Isaac Ajinboni, raised concerns about lack of resources and collaboration among some public officials.
Some of the payments and vouchers, they pass over us. So we are not able to tell them that this one, there should be a contract. This one must be an open tender. You need the quotation is above their threshold. It must go to the central tender board. But sometimes it doesn't come. So we're not able to give them that advice. And we're also there to assure them of the transactions that, oh, this transaction that you are doing, we've checked it, we've verified the goods, we've verified the infrastructure, it has been constructed, this is the percentage done, so you can go ahead and pay. That's what we are supposed to do, and this can curb, the corruption. But sometimes, our challenges are there, no resources. It's difficult. We are in May, first quarter, we've not received it. And we are in May, and they're expecting us to work from January to May. So sometimes you, the head, you have to use your own personal resources to get the office going. So really the challenges are there, but we are doing our best, to reduce instances of corruption and malpractices in the public sector. Some of the bottlenecks we face is that, our work, after we've done our report, we need to give it to the auditee for them to also respond. Our charter says you have 7 days and a maximum additional 3 days. So 10 days they must respond. But sometimes it takes it to 6 months and they've not responded.
The energy sector asking government to invest in power generation and reassess the sector's debt. Head of the Electronic Department at the Accra Technical University, Dr. Stephen Bani, reiterated the need for more collaboration for government quest to achieving a 10% renewable energy capacity by 2030.
Ghana's energy supply today is met predominantly by non-renewable energy sources, a mix of petroleum, biomass, and gas, with only a small share provided by hydroelectric sources. Dr. Stephen Bani said the introduction of a series of digital business models for renewable energy products has helped accelerate the expansion of electricity supply to remote communities and simplified payment methods.
Sustainability, then we have to, improve upon our generation. The problem is about generation, actually. In energy, generation and demand have to meet. I don't want to go into details, but then we have the system will play on a frequency, and at every point in time, the frequency have to balance. So that is why you see that at any point that the frequency want to deviate from the normal, GridCo will definitely take the power off. And there's war between GridCo and ECG as to who is to blame. But GridCo, just like a soldier on duty, if he sees that the frequency is going out of hand, definitely they will knock off some load.
Managing partner at Nocheski Solar, Noche Amatifio, indicated that Ghana's energy sector has some prospects.
Time has come for the industry in Ghana, and when I say the industry, test and measurement industry, electrical energy sectors, manufacturing, anything that has to do with power and energy, to take a rise in terms of perfection, in terms of improving on our standards.
Will be all for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Mubarak is next with sports. It's time for sports on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. And now the Black Stars will assemble in Accra on Thursday to begin preparations for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Mali and Central African Republic. The team will undergo a six-day training camp at the University of Ghana Stadium before departing for Bamako for the first qualifier against Mali on June 6. They will then host the Central African Republic on June 10 at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Otuado is expected to announce his squad for the fixtures in the coming days. Ghana is currently 4th in Group I with 3 points out of a possible 6. To club football, Hearts of Oak head coach Abubakar Ouattara has admitted his team is under immense pressure to avoid relegation. The Phobians are currently just 2 points above the drop zone following their 2-0 loss to Asante Kotoko at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Ouattara emphasized the need for wins to boost their survival hopes.
Team, we are under pressure. Don't take me alone. Take the all the team. We are under pressure because we need a point to survive. I tell you the last time.
Hearts of Oak is a big club. Many people do not associate relegation with the club, but as you continue to lose games, it's becoming very obvious that you need to back up. What do you intend to do with the 3 remaining games?
The 3 remaining games, we need the points. We don't have any choice. We need the points. To get the points, we must score. To score, play simple game. It's simple. Well, that's the reality of the football. When you can't score, you can't play well, look at taking the chance. Kotoko have a good side today. I congratulate them. We are playing badly once again.
The other day when you lost to Aduana, you were furious with your players. You thought that some of them didn't live up to expectation. They didn't play to your instructions. What do you have to say about this one?
We lost the game. We didn't play well. Kotoko take his chance. We lost. I don't want to say anything about anybody. I have a time to talk with the boys and everybody and myself.
Do you feel that you could have at least gotten a draw from this game, or you think Kotoko deserved to be winners?
No, with the faces of the match. When the match started, why? Kotoko deserved.
Sports on JN today. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Good afternoon, you're welcome to the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Suma Yabua. In an effort to shed light on mental health issues, a new movie titled Mind Chess has premiered, aiming to educate the public on how to address mental health challenges. Ghanaian actor Louis Lamy, who also starred in the movie, revealed his role as a father. He said that the movie has heightened his awareness and commitment to mental health advocacy. There's more in this report.
Hi, Mom. If you're reading this, I did it.
Mind Chess is a short film that portrays mental health in an unprecedented manner. The movie delves into complex family dynamics and the challenging journey towards healing. Through its narrative, viewers are offered a glimpse into the internal struggles faced by those dealing with mental health issues and their desperate cries for help. During the premiere, Ghanaian actor Louis Lamy shared his personal insights, expressing how his role in Mind Chess has inspired him to become more involved in supporting individuals facing mental health challenges.
I personally have had people around me, family, friends who have suffered it, and I feel I could have done more, and I didn't. And so when I got the script and I was playing the same role as I've done in real life, that I didn't intervene when I could have, it was an opportunity for me to. So the emotions of the disappointment and the failure of not being there for the people who needed me came naturally. And when I read it, I said, no, this is something I want to do. And I want to tell people that people need us. We should be the shoulder they lean on. And I think that is what hit me and what I really wanted to tell.
Mawena Azuma, actress who played the role of a daughter grappling with mental health issues, emphasized the importance of vigilance and support for those who often suffer in silence.
Listen. Always listen. Somebody is saying something. Somebody who is struggling is saying something. They might not blurt it out and say that, look, I'm having anxiety, I'm having depression. It's in their mannerisms. It's in the movies they watch. It's in the music they listen to. It's in the things they say. Sometimes it's just a switch in character. Somebody usually wakes up at 4 a.m., but for some reason they are doing 4:30 even. It doesn't have to be that loud. Please support us. The Youth Bridge Foundation is running a mental health advocacy to reach other young people across Ghana. We need all the help we can get.
In a celebration of African literary heritage, the All-African Women Poetry Festival wrapped up its 2024 edition over the weekend, paying a grand tribute to the Ghanaian playwright and poet Efua Theodora Sutherland. Under the theme, Poetry and Play, the festival was filled with an array of performances, workshops, and poetry readings.
Efua Theodora Sutherland, a towering figure in Ghanaian literature and culture, has been celebrated for her poetry and pioneering work in establishing post-independence cultural institutions such as the Ghana Society of Writers, the Ghana Experimental Theatre, and the Ghana Drama Studio. Her contributions to literature, child development, and cultural activism continue to inspire generations. This legacy was the focal point of the All-African Women Poetry Festival, which sought to honor and amplify her enduring impact. The festival was a convergence of literary enthusiasts, students, and renowned poets and literary figures. Reverend Dr. Joyce Aye, who chaired this year's festival, set the tone for an event filled with passion and creativity. The festival featured performances and readings by 10 distinguished poets from across the continent, including Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya.
It is our awareness of the true African environment that supports our lives. Ifwa T. Sutherland.
Many children are grown-ups before they learn their alphabets in this fast-paced world of growing obligations. And grown-ups have obligations consuming our days.
However, brains are built to benefit from play no matter what our age. But the spirit of play is often lost in the chaos of adulting.
As the 2024 AAWP Festival comes to a close, it has left an indelible mark on all who attended. The event not only honored Ifwa Sutherland's centenary, but also reaffirmed the critical importance of celebrating and nurturing African women's literary contributions. This festival is a reminder that the legacy of pioneers like Sutherland continues to inspire and shape the future of African literature.
It connotes something written, but we have a fantastic wealth of verbal art, the poetry and narratives, epics, legends, folk tales, the lot.
It's a wrap for the show. The segments with me, Jacqueline and Suma Yobwa. Hi, Sha.
And Tifa. Did you read some of her poems?
Well, now, you know, when I was working on this report, I chanced upon a couple. They are very interesting, by the way.
Yes, of course. If you want to talk about African literature, Ifwa Sutherland. Thanks for bringing us showbiz, Jackie. And that's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 2.